All right. How you, Robert?
Yes,
So,
sir.
all right. So, can you share your personal experience with HIV and how it has
Uh,
impacted your life?
okay. When we in our first segment, I shared to you about the code blue, right? The code blue. That's called. Okay. The reason it became a code blue is because when I got addicted to specifically crack cocaine, right? Um, Trying to recapture the single life, I became promiscuous because of the disease of addiction to crack cocaine controlled everything about me, especially my mental capacity. And so I ended up developing AIDS, which turned into full blown AIDS, what they called full blown AIDS back then. This is the time that when it was the highest epidemic on the market, so to speak.
Uh,
And so,
when was this?
um,
When did you find out specifically?
late 90s.
That's when you found out you were HIV positive.
Not HIV positive, full blown
You had
AIDS.
full blown AIDS
Full
in the late
blown AIDS,
90s.
what the medical terminology was called full blown AIDS, the late 90s. And so, but I knew what my symptoms were and what I probably had and what I did have. I just was in a state of denial.
Okay, so how did you first become aware? Like you knew, but as far as medically, when did they say, okay, this is what you got? How did you first become aware that you of your HIV status?
Because if you remember, I shared that I had taken some college classes before. And so we did some presentation in sociology. And so, that's when I learned about crack cocaine because I took some rocks off the street to present, and my hand shook like a son of a gun. And we also learned about the milestone, whispered in my ear, and it wasn't a human voice, said, you might be going home to die. But I shook it off, you know what I'm saying? Because because I knew what I had.
Full blown.
I knew what I had because I was that smart enough to know my um, health status,
Okay.
and I knew what my symptoms were, and so I just shook it off, and I called mom and my family, and they came to get me from the payphone booth. I was still sitting inside the payphone booth on the sidewalk. And so they came to get me. And so I came back home. I did some work and everything, construction work, and then I ended up getting real sick, double pneumonia. And so no one knows their child like a mom's intuition. So mom said, take my baby to the hospital.